Either the front office makes some astounding trades that no other team in the NBA history has ever done, or I think it's time for the Chicago Bulls to blow it up. Listen, for the past 2 years, they tried their experiment. They tried making a kind of a big three with Vucevic, DeRozan, and Levine. More of a big two with Levine and DeRozan, but I think they tried it. It didn't work, and now it's time to move on. I mean, you gave it a shot, but it's just time to give in. You were the 6th seed 2 years ago, lost in the first round. Last year you didn't even make the playoffs. You were a play-in team. I mean, I know. The Chicago Bulls have had their fair share of injuries. Very unfortunate with Lonzo Ball, but I don't think his situation is going to get any better. Sadly to say, I was Lonzo Ball. I wanted him to succeed in the NBA. I wanted him to succeed, but I just don't. The luck is just not with Lonzo. It's just not with him, and I think it's time to stop. And I think you need to blow it up this year, this offseason. You have great trade capital. Levine, I think this is probably the highest his trade value is going to be. DeRozan is aging. He's 33. I mean, maybe he has a couple more good years with him. But if you wait another year or two, I just don't think it's going to work out. Vucevic is nothing like he was in Orlando. He's been atrocious for the Bulls. And Caruso also has very good trade value with making the all-defensive team last year. And you have a decent young roster when you trade all those guys. I mean, you got Patrick Williams, who's very young. He's only been in the league, 2 or 3 years? You drafted Dalen Terry last year with your first-round pick. He could be a very promising young man. You got him signed for a couple more years. I mean, to be honest, that's really... Dang. The Bulls are kind of in a shambles. They got Patrick Williams and Dalen Terry as their young players. I mean, maybe try to keep Tony Bradley, Marko Simonovic. But I mean, if you trade the players I just talked about, you're gonna. I mean, if the front office does their job, they're gonna get probably good draft picks. Maybe you can trade them before the draft in a couple days. Get some good. You could get lottery picks for Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to. And you don't even need to necessarily trade Zach LaVine. I mean, he's not that old. He's like 28. He's not old. You have him under contract until 2027. So you could easily keep him, but I would just hate to see Zach LaVine waste a couple of years while the Bulls are rebuilding. But I mean, you could have him rebuild with the squad, the newly made squad you make up with trading DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic. Now, I'm looking at the salaries right now. They don't even... Nikola Vucevic is a free agent this summer. So, never mind. He is gone. So, you don't even have Nikola Vucevic. You don't even have a good center. You got Andre Drummond and Tony Bradley. So, you might as well blow it up. You might as well restart. When I was watching the Bulls this past season, 2 major things. One, they don't know how to pass. Zach LaVine is an ISO scorer. Like, you may look at his stats. He gets a couple assists here and there. But he's a scorer, first and foremost. And then what's DeMar DeRozan? A pure scorer. You don't have anybody on that team that facilitates. Alex Caruso is not really the guy you want to have the ball in his hand all the time. You're mostly having him out there for defense. He's not a great offensive player. And I mean... Of course, they built this team around with the inclination that Lonzo Ball was going to play, who's a great facilitator, great defender. very improved three-point shooter when he was on the court last, but you don't have that. And from recent reports, it doesn't look like he's going to get to that point anytime soon. Second main thing that I noticed with the Bulls, I don't think any of the players respect or like Billy Donovan. With the roster that they have, they should be a much better team. But I just don't think the team that they've put together is very cohesive. It's not a team that can play well together. You need some facilitators. You need to have key players who can work well together. Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are two of the same type of player. You need differences so that they can help each other out. Because for DeMar, when he scores, he needs the ball. He needs to make a move. And then he does a move, then he scores. It's the same with Zach LaVine. They're not catch-and-shoot players. And DeMar DeRozan is not a good three-point shooter. So you can't even have DeMar on the wing or on the three-point line while Zach LaVine drives and for him to kick it out. Because DeMar, when he catches the ball, he's going to have to step in from the three-point line and take a mid-range jumper. And that's just wasting time and allows the defender to close out easier. It's just not a cohesive group. That's all I'm trying to say. There's just no cohesion with the squad that they've assembled. Also, a big factor with their star players is defense. Like, you watch any of the Bulls games, Zach LaVine is getting torched. He's getting blown by every play. DeMar is not horrible, but in no means is he a great one. And then you have Nikola Vucevic, who's your main block. He's your main paint defender. He is your center. He is the one who is supposed to show up when someone gets past them. And Nikola Vucevic, he's not athletic, so he's not going to be able to jump to get those blocks. He's not very agile. He's just not a good defender in general. So in conclusion, 1, trade DeMar for sure. Trade him for draft picks, a quality center. I don't care. You need to trade DeMar. If you can get something good, trade Zach LaVine. Trade him. I don't think he's going to want to play with a squad that's restarting. I just don't think he's going to want to, and I don't think it's good for his development. You're not going to be able to give away, you're not going to be able to trade away Lonzo because he's injured. No one's going to want his contract for what he is right now. But who knows, maybe in like a year he comes back and he's a better player, but I don't expect that. So even more reason to restart your team right now. And then 2, I think you need to get rid of Billy Donovan. I don't think he's going to be the coach you want to start with a new group. I think you're going to want to get someone younger who can learn with the team that you're trying to assemble. And just try and build around Patrick Williams. Like, Patrick Williams isn't, in my opinion, is not like a all-NBA type cornerstone to your team. But it's all you really have right now. It's kind of what you have to do unless you get some draft picks for DeMar. Get a lottery pick that you can build around your team. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but this team's been kind of cursed. And it still might be. So, Derrick Rose, tears ACL. Haven't really been that good since that happened. I mean, you let go of Jimmy Butler. The Bulls just need a fresh start. I think the city of Chicago needs a fresh start with the Bulls.